Guys and girls, I put a question poll on my Instagram story the other day asking what you guys want to know because this is a Q&A video, so I got lots of responses. That's what I'll be answering in this video. It is a question and answer from someone, me, who has been 5.5 years on the raw primal diet, so eating exclusively raw animal foods, raw meat, eggs, dairy, even raw chicken, even rotten meat, all that crazy stuff. It obviously changed my life. That's why I've been doing it for 5.5 years. I've also then used it to help like all the clients I work with in my actual coaching and mentorship around natural health. It's not just the diet, it's health as a whole, but the diet's one key pillar of it. Anyway, the first question I got was, would you ever marry a vaccinated girl even if she was on the raw meat diet? I mean, as like a ideal standard, like the mother of my kids would be a virgin, unvaccinated, like submissive enough, feminine enough to follow my lead and just like eat the raw diet and do all the health practices I do so my future kids can be as healthy as possible. But you know, we don't live in an ideal world. So practically speaking, that is probably one of the standards I'm like least strict on if it's like conventional vaccines. COVID vaccine is a different thing because that has like more permanent, potentially significant effects. But standard vaccine adjuvants, like the heavy metals, the mercuries, those can be detox. Say I meet a girl, she's a virgin, or like God forbid a very low body count, really sweet girl, beautiful girl, like sort of person I would want to be with and to be the mother of my kids. I would just put her through like a really intense detox protocol. So it's like we're going to a tropical, subtropical part of the world, maybe like Central America, South America maybe, where there's no pollution. We're just eating super good food, doing a ton of hot springs, eating a lot of oysters, like strict raw diet, doing a lot of weight cycling as well, because obviously all the toxins are going to be stored in her fatty tissue. So like getting all of that out so it can't just be dumped into the baby when they're being, you know, created in the womb, and do that for like 2 years. So like if she really commits to that for 2 years, for sure she's the one. And then it'd be pretty safe to actually conceive and have kids. It wouldn't be as much of a risk. But yeah, also like the alternative would be, I guess, finding a girl who's unvaccinated. I wouldn't probably date a girl who's already on the primal diet just because I think that's like pretty high exposure. Like it's either where did your boyfriend teach that to you, or they're just too chronically online for my liking personally. I'm sure plenty of them are nice people, nice girls. I've met lots of them, but just for me, it's not really what I'm into, I don't think. The next question is, how do you do the diet at school / how to convince your parents to let you go on the primal diet? So convincing your parents, I started when I was 15. So it wasn't like that hard. I kind of just bought the meat, told my parents to buy me like some kangaroo and beef from the supermarket, and then I just ate it raw. My mum, I think at one stage was crying in front of me saying like, oh Mason, you can't be eating raw chicken. And she was like really begging me to stop, but I just kind of like laughed in her face a little bit and did it anyway. And that really disarmed her worries because she saw I was fine, even though I kind of had some fuck detoxes at some points, but she saw I was fine. I was enjoying it. I felt good. And it kind of put all of their concerns to rest. They just saw it as like this kind of crazy thing that maybe I've been indoctrinated with. Now at this stage, doing it 5 years, having the whole social media, personal brand and business around it, they're much more supportive. And like, obviously, like they even eat raw foods with me. We go out to restaurants, they'll have tartare. For my birthday, for example, my dad will make a lot of tartare for everyone. So it's like, they're very supportive now, but you just kind of have to have that lead at the start. You need to take the lead. You need to take control of your life. Whether you're fucking 12 or 20, it's going to be completely up to you. Don't leave your fate health-wise in the hands of your parents. Same thing goes for eating at school. I was eating, raw meat at school all throughout high school. Obviously, socially, it was like more condemned at that stage. So I'll say back in my day, it was not as easy to be a raw primal dieter as it is today, thanks to the likes of like it blowing up on social media. And now more or less everyone being somewhat exposed to the diet, at least at some point, just on their social media feeds. But, you know, I just took raw meat in glass containers, brought like raw milk, egg and honey milkshakes in glass bottles, and I just eat and drink a lot of that. I'd also like have a big breakfast before, so it's not like I was super hungry at school, and then I'd also eat a lot afterwards. But I didn't really care that attention got drawn to me. I was doing like a lot of interesting things at the time. Like I was wearing barefoot shoes, wearing blue light blocking glasses when I was in the classroom. So like my friends already knew I had this alternative health take, and I wasn't really judged too hard by them. It was just like the odd people would come up to me at school, like during lunch and recess, and want to check out my lunch, what I was eating. But it never really got to me so much, because the good thing about eating the diet is you always have a bit of an ego superiority over anyone who ever criticizes you, because you know how good you feel doing it, and you know that they are purely a mentally ill slave, you know? So yeah, just do it anyway. Okay, next question. Is sunlight more important than diet? No, to the degree that you can survive off of diet but no sun, you can't survive off of sun but no diet. But I think they're both extremely important when you actually want to reach and attain peak health. Like diet alone, it can keep you alive, it can keep you walking and breathing. Like a vegan, they're still walking and breathing. But you know, if you don't have sunlight as well alongside even a peak diet, even like you're eating raw foods but you still live in a cave and your environment is really dysregulated, you're not going to be as close to where you could be vitality wise as maybe even someone who's eating a cooked diet but is getting a ton of sunlight, living in a beautiful subtropical, tropical part of the world. So that's not really much of an answer that I gave you guys. I'd say it's just super fucking important. I don't really know if you can weigh it up perfectly, but maybe if you ask me the question, would you rather live in a very cold climate for the rest of your life but be able to eat raw meat, or live in a sunny environment, beautiful weather, clean environment, but only be able to eat cooked meat, like maybe a rare steak, that sort of thing, I think I would go with the cooked alternative, because being in the sun is that fucking insane. It feels that good, and it's free. Meat and food costs money. The sun is free, so anyone can do it as well, but it genuinely is that good. Next question is, can I eat raw meat or chicken from the supermarket? I mean, you can. It depends how good your supermarket is, what quality of meat they're actually getting in. The most important thing is that, you know, it's grass-fed, organic, pasture-raised, never vaccinated meat. Like, these food poisoning issues only come from when there's actual poisons, industrialized chemical adjuvants or elements or residues in the meat tissue itself. That's what runs through you. That's what gives you diarrhea, gives you the shits. If it's like extreme, it will make you throw up. So if your supermarket does have some grass-fed stuff or some organic stuff or some high quality stuff, regenerative stuff even, it's fine to eat. If you only have access to supermarket meat and the quality is not specified or it's shit quality, then I'd only eat red meat, muscle cuts, not the fats. The toxins are going to be stored in the fats. You can get away with just eating muscle cuts of red meats and you should be fine, but it's like not going to be ideal, obviously health-wise. The next question is the eye color changing stuff real? You can see my eyes, they're decently lighter, but yeah, I was born with the completely brown eyes, as a lot of people are. They're born with darker eyes, or within the first weeks and months, their eyes shift from maybe a lighter color, maybe a hazel, maybe a blue, to something a lot darker, and then it stays that way for the rest of their lives. As they accumulate more toxins, it'll even get darker. Older people's eyes will even begin to gray, fog over as you have like rounds of antibiotics and other medications. You'll get some like brownish, yellowish, orange, and even like green pigments in the eyes. But it's only actually what you see when you do something like a raw diet, when you know how to dial in your health and detox everything. Even some people can do it on a vegan diet, albeit it's like not the healthiest way to do it, but you can still detoxify through certain unoptimal diets. Will you see those changes? So yeah, it's very real. I was meant to record a video today on it, on like actually explaining the full mechanism behind it, but that might be coming, I don't know, in a few days. It's a video coming soon though. Okay, the next question is best foods to eat and drink to heal a really damaged gut. Generally, you want to be drinking more of the raw foods than eating. It's going to be like a lot lighter on digestion, especially if you are, say, combining these foods with some digestive aids such as honey. You're mixing it a lot with your saliva, or you're fermenting these foods, like drinking, for example, sipping over a period of time raw kefir compared to like chugging raw milk will be much easier for your body to digest, and it will leave your gut in a much better state to actually repair itself compared to being chronically like inundated with digestive substances or like, you know, substrates to break down. The other thing you can focus on is using food binders to clear up digestive waste, such as like raw, hard, unsalted cheese. Some people in the Ray Peat community, they'll talk about the carrot peel shit, those sort of things, like even some clays as well, they can work. I'd use binders compared to chelators, as you wouldn't really want to do anything too extreme on your body, but that can be beneficial in actually clearing up the terrain in the environment so your gut can go ahead and heal itself. But obviously it's, you know, going to be case by case depending on your specific issue. Generally, eat raw foods, they'll digest better. If you do have digestive issues, you'll tend to tolerate white meats a lot more easily because it doesn't have as significant of an iron content, so digestion wise it'll be better. But also get a lot of sunlight, morning sunlight, evening sunlight, actually onto your stomach, because for something like leaky gut or gut permeability or like a deficient gut microbiome, that will be really beneficial for healing. The next question is my opinion on Accutane. Obviously, I would definitely not recommend it. I think the side effects are pretty well known. Depression, hair loss, really dry skin, skin issues, and brain fog. Like, these are some of the common side effects just off the top of my head. But what you really want to be doing is actually address the root cause of acne, because acne purely is simply just your body attempting to detoxify something deeper. It could be coming from your gut, could be coming from a congested, backed up lymphatic system. It's obviously going to be from your diet to a degree, but you'd want to actually address it at the root cause, and then the acne will go away once and for all. Acne isn't a bad thing. The thing that is causing the acne is a bad thing, if that makes sense. Like all the seed oils you're drinking, all the plastics you're being exposed to, the low quality toxic diet, that's what's coming out via your skin. The acne is like purely your body doing its best job so you don't build up these toxins and drop dead 20 years down the line because you've been completely inundated with poisonous compounds. The next question is, do you have your dream life? Are you living it? At what age did you know? I don't know what they meant by what age do you know, but yeah, for sure, I have a dream life and basically I'm living it. My dream life is just living in line with nature, eating the good foods, being in the sun, doing these things that make me feel good, make me feel happy, spending time with good friends, and having like complete freedom. So right now, I've got travel freedom. I go anywhere I want. I've got financial freedom in the sense that I can pay for anything I want, but maybe the one thing that I don't yet have freedom wise is like extreme financial freedom. which, you know, you could say I'm a brainwashed slave for wanting to attain money. But with that, I can have all the farms I want. I can completely protect and sustain myself and my future family for the rest of my life. So in practice, I'm living my dream life and I'm building towards my dream life, because obviously what will be in the actual dream life is like family, wife, kids, all these sort of things. But I'm living the dream lifestyle. And what age did I know this? Probably for the last like 2-3 years. Probably go to Stephen, like it just made me realize it a little bit and actually kind of spark something in my mind to really reverse engineer fulfillment. Instead of trying to get these superficial surface level things, I actually started to think about what actually truly fulfills a human innately. So, you know, I kind of worked that out and figured out I just kind of wanted to have love, freedom, health, fun, all that kind of stuff. And I'm doing that now and it feels good and it feels fulfilling to do. Also like community, like even having this YouTube, even having Instagram and like helping people with this health stuff, that for me is also a part of my dream life. So all these things, I would say I'm definitely living the dream lifestyle. There's still a version and ideal that I'm working towards. If I ever get there, it doesn't matter. I'm still like enjoying the process and enjoying my life along the way. Okay, the next question and the final question is, would you raise your kids on raw meat from birth? You can probably guess if you watched all the way through this video, I absolutely would. It's probably going to be the single greatest gift I can give to them, aside from growing up on a farm and having like a really cool childhood. But actually eating raw meat, raw foods will just mean that they are in perfect health. They'll grow to be tall, good looking, basically just be all supermodels, and they'll never have any sort of health issue, self-esteem issue, or anything in their life. And there's obviously not going to be any sort of risk, because all the fear mongering around germ theory is obviously complete bullshit, as I explained in lots of my videos. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that, because I think it'll be a pretty cool thing to see. It'll be a bit of a project Mbappe. Like 5 years ago when I was really into football and like that was my main thing, I thought, okay, fuck, when I have kids, I'm gonna just put them in an academy when they're like 2, so they can, you know, have the dream life or like the career that I wish I had at the time at least. But now it's like I'm just super excited to give my kids a perfect amount of health. They can also almost be like this new reverse generation of humans. It's like, you know, the Podgers cats, how we're declining in health. Obviously, each generation, humans are getting sicker and sicker, more fat, bald, diseased, deformed, all of that. This will be like a really significant step in the right direction, as I'm sure like a lot of you guys watching this, your kids will be that too, because you are equipped with more or less the same knowledge to a degree that I'm going to use to implement with my kids in getting them healthy as fuck and giving them the basics. Because also one thing is that, like say with the guys I coach one-on-one, where we're like reversing hair loss, reversing gut issues, fixing depression, all this kind of stuff, that requires like really autistic level precision with the protocols we implement, compared to what they should be doing, what they would ideally have just been doing naturally from birth. It's just eating raw foods, getting in the sun, life is good. I'm excited to give that to my kids and not have to even teach them what like a real formula is. You know what I mean? It would just be, this is food, enjoy it. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you have any video ideas that you want to make in the future, please write them in the comments, because I would always appreciate new video ideas. And if you are interested in like one-on-one coaching or working with myself, seeing what I have to offer in terms of programs to actually get your health back on track, predominantly I work with entrepreneurs and high performers, people who kind of have that mental bandwidth to allocate obviously time but also money to focusing in on their health, then I'd recommend you check out the link in the description of this video. Enjoy your day, guys.